Yeah. This is it. This is the last show of the season.
Yeah.
Which means there will be a season 2 of GeekTime TV Sports Talk.
When's the next season start again? No.
Oh, I know. Let me ask you this. The game was last Sunday, a week ago today.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like it was already like 6 months ago?
It does feel like a long time ago. It does. It really does. It's almost like it's time to fork the bears again.
Yeah. No, it might be time to fork the bears. I actually hear that they're going to maybe sign Carson Wentz.
Right. I heard about that.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
That could be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Where to begin with this one? I mean, this game reminded me about some of those Super Bowls in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, it was like you had the first 5 minutes or so of like back and forth, or maybe the first quarter, and then it just
like
the team just got blown out.
Right, give the teams feel each other out a little bit, and
then
oh my god, and it's just even the commercials can't pull you through something like that. I mean, I went over our mutual friend Doug's house. He's got to move, so we were packing him, and so we're sitting there in his almost completely empty house with a bunch of junk food. I made wings and stuff, and we're all starting to fall asleep around halftime.
Isn't that amazing?
We had to make coffee in the second quarter.
In a game like this,
with this marquee matchup, and we're making coffee in the second quarter
just to stay up.
Can maybe sit through the second half and hope to God the Chiefs figure out a way to turn it around. I don't know. It was a shocker to me because of how the Chiefs were making so many mistakes, and it was like we kept going on and on about this coaching stuff. And I'm not blaming them exclusively, but we kept going on how well prepared they always are because of this coaching staff, and just did the opposite of it. It's like receivers dropping balls all over the place. I mean, it's like slipping and sliding. I don't know if the field was kind of a little. Well, it did rain, I guess, all day,
but it wasn't affecting Tampa Bay as much.
The home field advantage, I think, really helped.
It did.
But we'll get into it a little bit. We'll just go through each quarter. I'll pull up the thing from the website, but I think the biggest controversy. Well, there's two things. First, the controversy with the officiating.
Yep.
Being one, and the second is all the people who yelled and screamed during the 3 weeks of playoffs that Eric Bieniemy should. Why is he not being interviewed? Why does he deserves? And I agree. I think he's a phenomenal coach, and he should get a chance. But boy, did they have egg on their face when his offense could do absolutely nothing on the big stage.
Yep.
So that's why I got to call a spade a spade.
Well, I have a little bit more to talk about that too, in terms of a certain. I don't know. All right, we'll get to it.
Let's get right into it. I'll find this. Here we go. So here we are. The scene of the crime. So yeah, first quarter. Tampa comes out 3-0. Kind of expected, right?
Yep.
And the Chiefs, similar. I mean, they get one first down, and then Tampa comes back again and punts again. So we're kind of like, okay. Now we're right about this point. We say, well, there goes the over, right?
Right. Yep.
That was the first thing somebody mentioned. There goes the over, because you're almost completely, through the first quarter, at least halfway through the first quarter, and nobody's moving the ball. So, what was the over? Was like 57, right? No, 60.
Oh
I don't remember what it was, but it was high. So you're figuring 30 points a team, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of 30 points a team, I predicted my final score of this game.
I don't even want to talk about that.
38-31. I had Chiefs 38-30. I got the 31 for Tampa Bay spot on.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very true.
So then the Chiefs get the ball back, go down and kick a field goal, and you're like, okay. And bang, right down the field goes Tampa. Right down the field. And then Chiefs answer with a 3-and-out.
Yeah, that was like
that's a really bad sign
So
to answer a touchdown with a 3 and out.
Yeah. So if we pause right there with that first quarter, the game plan for Kansas City seemed to be it was wide open. They were trying to throw on every down. And Mahomes was running all the time. He was running a lot in the first quarter.
Yep.
Because his receivers couldn't get open. There was nothing for him. No Tyreek Hill, nothing. And I found it odd, and we'll come back to it when we get later into the game, that if they maybe took the opposite approach and established a run game, the result could have been a little different.
Could have been. Yep.
I don't know if they'd win the game, but it could have been a little different. At least it wouldn't have been, a lopsided blowout.
If they could, because Tampa loves to leave those two safeties covering the long ball, and then everybody else kind of scrunched in the middle. If they were able to succeed with a run, they might have to pull them in to support, and it might have helped out. Yep.
It might have. Yeah. Boy, that Winfield is good back there too, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay, so second quarter, and this is where I really felt like, and this is one of those things, goal line stand for the Chiefs, and you're like, oh man, message sent, right?
Right. That's surprising. I mean, it surprised me that the Chiefs defense was playing that well in the beginning, at least.
Yeah, and especially as the game wore on, and we saw the Tampa Bay running game. It didn't matter if it was Jones or Fournette; these guys were just tearing it up.
Yeah,
and so to stop them on a couple of consecutive plays on the 1 yard line was crazy. Like,
that was really,
really, really impressive. And I thought at that point, I'm like, okay, now the Chiefs are going to assert, now they're going to come down the field, take advantage of the momentum, pop a score, and take the lead maybe, and never look back.
Yep.
Nope, they take the ball at that point, and they get 16 yards total, 4 plays.
And it was at this possession that I was like, that was my first sign where I was like, what the heck? They had the first down, so the ball was just bounced off Kelsey's hands.
Yeah.
And then they want, and I'm like, oh my gosh! Now they give the Tampa Bay the ball back again with a short field. It's like, if you get the first down there, at least you keep it going, and who knows, maybe you score, or maybe at least you make Tampa Bay go the longer field. But exactly. No, I couldn't believe it. It was like, are you kidding me?
Not only that, there was something I noticed right here when that happened to Kelsey that I said, uh-oh, I didn't like what I saw. And what I didn't like was Kelsey's look on his face, and his body language was horrible.
Yeah.
He stood up and went like he didn't want to be there anymore.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa. I mean, that guy is usually, come on, and he's pissed at himself when he makes a mistake. And he was just kind of like, yeah. And I didn't like that. I didn't want to buy too deep into it. We're halfway through the second quarter, and I'm like, okay, it's still early, but I didn't like the way he just the expression on his face, and that lack of energy, the lack of enthusiasm is like, and I think that most of the team played like that.
Oh yeah,
all those guys
could see that.
Their body language was terrible, especially after what happened next. So Brady gets the ball, 6 plays, 28 yards, bang, bang, they're in the end zone. And this is where the trouble started, where they had there was a pick, right, by Matthew here.
Yep.
It got taken back. It was a 3rd down play too, if I'm not mistaken. But they took it away because they called defensive holding right here on Breeland. And oh no, that's a different one. Breeland was taking penalties all over the field.
I know, it's hard to keep up with all the penalties.
He had 4 or 5 called on him alone for defensive holding.
Yep,
all game long. It was brutal. And at this point in the game, in the second quarter, I think the Chiefs were. At one point, they had like 7 penalties in a row, and like 5 or 6 were defensive holding. It was crazy.
Yeah,
Brady dropped to throw the ball. There was a flag.
Yeah, they broke the record for most penalties in a half in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
So that ought to tell you something. And you can't tell me that really. So the Buccaneers weren't doing anything at all with all those receivers, that they weren't getting open. You couldn't really. So
Tyreek Hill's the fastest guy in the league, and not that we're conspiracy theorists or anything, but
no, I know, but
he didn't make an impact at all, and he ended up with like, I think he had 7 catches or something like that, maybe 10 catches, but where were they at the end in garbage time? That guy was a non-factor. But again, so the Chiefs answer, they go on a long 10-play drive, kick a field goal. This is where I started to feel not good.
Yeah, the trading of field goals for touchdowns the other way. Usually that they're on the field, they're on the touchdown side, but this was I wasn't feeling good.
It immediately started to remind me of an old Patriots, the way the Patriots used to win these things. That's exactly what would happen. The opponent would trade field goals for touchdowns, and there's no way you can catch up mathematically that way.
And I don't know if it was this one or their first field goal, but Mahomes made this great throw into the end, and I know there were defenders around him, but the ball bounced off his face mask. I mean, it didn't get deflected. It wasn't defended. It bounced, and to me, it's like a sign of what you just said recently, where you said it's like they didn't want to beat it. It's almost like oh, it's not going to make it to me. They gave up. It's like giving up on the play before it finished, and it bounced off his face mask. You could have had it.
Yeah, that was it was Williams, right? Williams had a horrible game.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, Le'Veon Bell must have been really dinged up to put Williams in there over Le'Veon Bell, because if that's Le'Veon Bell, he catches that ball. Le'Veon Bell catches that ball.
I remember thinking, "Oh, are you kidding me?"
Especially
a great throw.
Mahomes was like parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
And he flicks the ball. He's completely horizontal and flips the ball and hits the guy in the face mask. It was a perfect throw. Like Patrick Mahomes.
It happened more than once.
This guy, I mean, my God, he played a great game because he was running for his life constantly. I didn't realize until the game started that they had 3 offensive linemen out.
Well, that's what that was my comment at the beginning of this, when I was going to say that I have something to say about that in terms of their offense, and you just hit it right there. That was it.
Yeah.
I was worried a little bit because I didn't let it get into my head, because you get caught up in all these great players that do all the great plays, but you know what? It's in the trenches, in the offensive line and defensive line.
Yep.
And yes, I knew that they had some injuries on the offensive line, but I wanted to kind of just forget about that.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. I mean, I know Tampa's got a really good pass rush, and I knew they'd get their shots, but not on every play. It was like every single play. I mean, even early on, when in the first quarter, when he was running because nobody was open, he had to get the hell out of there because he was going to get crazy.
Yep.
So, anyway, they settle for another field goal, and it might have been the next one when the face mask thing happened, because it really, at this point, and this is where we were making coffee, because once Antonio Brown caught this, and this is a drive where they had a lot of flags.
Yep.
And they went right down the field on flags, and he gets the first and goal from the one on another pass interference, and and Matthew gets the unsports. Matthew lost his mind. He completely lost his composure. Once those penalties started stacking up, he lost his mind. He was completely unfocused the rest of the game. He was out of position. He was just running around pissed off, just trying to hit people. He did not help their cause at all. And I think Tony Romo said it once he started yapping, so once he started yelling, Tony Romo's like, he's got to get his composure back. There's a lot of football to play, and if he doesn't get his head straight, this is going to be a long night. And that's exactly what happened.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, he was tantruming all night long after this. But this whole drive right here was where I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, it was flag after flag after flag. And I guess this officiating crew, I heard after the game, threw the most flags this year. So they're known for doing this kind of stuff. So, so they get another touchdown. They go up 21-6, and it's like, oh my God, that's your half. Didn't feel unsurmountable, and we still thought the Chiefs will go in. They get the first kick. they'll right the ship. They'll come out and score a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 21-13, and you're not so worried, right?
Right.
Except they come out and they
get another field
one.
goal.
And not only another one, it was a 52-yarder. Like,
right.
They had trouble moving the ball again. So 21-9, Brady answers again. And this is where they started running the ball. And it was
big chunks. It was like
big chunk after big chunk. And then Fournette breaks it off for 27 yards, like basically untouched. And on that play is where you saw Matthew like way out of position. Just looking, I don't know what he was looking to do. Just bury somebody, with a bad block, with it, just go hit somebody. And he missed his assignment. And not that they probably would have scored on that drive anyway.
Yeah.
But now you're down 28-9, and it's at that point you felt it slipping away. And
it was at this point where I pretty much thought it was again. Not that the Chiefs can't come back, but the way they were not moving the ball, I figured, how can they in this situation?
They were struggling for first downs. And then they come out and Mahomes throws a pick, and it's like, Tampa gets a field goal from the pick, 31-9. Now it's
and they got the field goal because they made their one mistake there. And I'm like thinking to myself, even when they make mistakes, they come out all right. When the center threw the ball over, it could have been Brady's fault as well. It bounced off his hands and went like 15 yards back. And I thought, hey, if they could pick up the ball there and run it back for a touchdown, that could be like a big turnaround. But no, it's like he's like the slowest guy, and he winds up falling on it, and they still get a field goal out of it. It's like, funny. Are you kidding me?
It's funny you say that because we were watching that game, and we kept rewinding and looking at that. And I jumped off the couch, must have caffeine, and I was like, look at the Chiefs. Do you know how many guys were standing there flat-footed watching that?
Yep.
Standing still. You're right. Tom Brady. A couple weeks before, the same thing happened to Ben Roethlisberger. And 2 Cleveland Browns beat Ben Roethlisberger and James Conner to the ball.
Yep, I remember.
You know why? The Cleveland Browns were hungry. That ball goes over Tom Brady's head. He is not. You need a son.
Somebody has to be there before him. Come on.
Nobody's there. They weren't even close.
They weren't.
And when you watched if you looked at the shot, like from behind Tom Brady, when that ball went over his head, Chris Jones standing flat-footed. A bunch of them just standing there flat-footed. By the time they started again, it's way too late. I mean, what were they? They gave up on the play. It's like they gave.
And he could actually have easily picked it up and tried to do something, but he did the smart play. That's always a smart play for him there, especially when you're winning by that. You don't want to give the Chiefs an opening.
Tom Brady very rarely makes mistakes, especially big games. So, yeah, I mean that right there too. Like when I saw that, I'm like, these guys are done.
Yeah.
They care. They haven't cared all game. They were ill prepared. I don't know what they were thinking. So then they come out and they now you're in 4-down territory at this point.
Of course. Start to turnover on downs,
and then it becomes, now it's just both teams trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep.
Fourth quarter's just a dull.
Except for Mahomes, he was still trying.
Mahomes was and so is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 9 carries, 64 yards, average of 7-yard carry. They didn't do that until the third quarter.
Yeah.
And started running like that. The whole tone might be different, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was shocked. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. I mean, you look at Brady's stats, he did what he does. Just enough to win, right? No mistakes. That's the key. Fournette and Jones averaging over 5 yards each. Gronk looked like old Gronk.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I was like thinking, how is this guy wide open? It's like, holy cow.
And for me too, the other big surprise were your 2 Tampa Bay big guns, Godwin and Adams. 3 combined catches for 40 yards.
Yeah.
They were not a factor at all. It was all these AFC reclamation projects. Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady. All these guys that came over from the AFC. Yeah, I mean, quite a turnaround from the game they played against each other in week whatever, 14, 15, whenever that was.
6, I think. Right? Was it 6?
No. When Tampa played the Chiefs.
Oh no, right. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was.
It was.
I would think that was in the teens. Yeah.
It was right before the Tampa bye week, so that would have been week 12 because Tampa had that week 13 bye week. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
And it put them at 7-5 at that point. The Chiefs just murdered them. So, give them credit. Tampa Bay didn't lose another game after that bye week.
Yep.
The penalties are one thing. They were definitely slanted. Let's face it. But the Buccaneers were prepared on both sides of the ball. They had a great game plan. They stuck to it. They didn't make mistakes. And let's call a spade a spade. Tom Brady knows how to win these games. He makes everybody around him better.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from him, but once again, it's like the quarterback position gets way too much credit and way too much blame, because it's like if I'm being asked for most valuable, it'd be like that defensive line that gets the most valuable. It's like
we thought White might have gotten it.
Yeah, somebody on that defensive line or somebody on that defense. I mean, think about it. You're holding the Chiefs, who average over like 33 points to 9.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give it to somebody on defense, but of course it's not going to happen.
Could have made a case for Leonard Fournette too. He had 135 all-purpose yards and touchdown. You could have made a case for Gronk. Gronk came up big when the game was in question.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
The 2 touchdowns, like 70 yards receiving in that one section of the game where it could have gone either way. They cracked it open using him, and then they sailed the rest of the way. So, but I mean, here's your penalties, and your story with penalties: 11 on the Chiefs, 4 on Tampa Bay, and it wasn't so much the quantity, so much as when they happened.
Yeah, it was critical. 3rd downs when they were going to, force them to punt.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a factor, but after seeing the rest of the game too, I can't just blame it all on that.
No, it was a debacle. It really was a debacle. It is what it is. I mean, on the Chiefs offense, the Chiefs defense did okay in the beginning and certainly gave their offense a chance. On the Chiefs offense, I got to put it on the receivers, who dropped a lot of balls, had balls. There was twice where it was 2 different times when Mahomes threw it into the end zone and hit somebody on a face mask. That's 2 different times. 2 different times.
One was at the end. One was towards the end of the game. I know what might have not been a big difference, but it was twice like that. So and I'm not blaming them because they were injured, but that offensive line, I should have. It's like I remember when we were talking about this. I'm like said, I think the only thing to worry about is that there's some injuries on the Chiefs offensive line. But then it was kind of like, oh, by the way, this is happening with the Chiefs. No, that should have been a big glaring thing.
I think when you have a championship caliber team, you assume there's depth.
You assume
that they're the B squad, but that B squad could be someone else's A squad.
Right.
When you're a Super Bowl team, you don't expect to put in your backups and have them trucked like they were.
Yeah,
they were a swinging door. Those guys, they were horrible.
Yeah. I would love to find, for next season, I would love to find somebody knowledgeable or a site knowledgeable in how to rate offensive and defensive lines and use that as a way to predict my games, because that's a big factor, I think.
That is awesome. That's a great idea.
I don't know. I got to try to look into that because I certainly don't know how to judge them.
That's a really good idea. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to modify this show a little bit for next season, which will be coolio. But before we finish this episode, I have to, since we got to give credit where credit's due with Tom Brady, right? I mean, it's a hell of a story. It's a hell of a story. They produced I think it was a T-Mobile.
Oh, the commercial. I don't even know what it was a commercial for.
Was
it T-Mobile?
Yeah, I think it was T-Mobile.
All right, it might have been T-Mobile.
No, it is T-Mobile. There's an unreleased commercial with Brady and Gronk, and I'm gonna play it because it's beautiful. Why is it unreleased?
That's the
Gronk. What up?
Oops. Let me pause it here. All right, ready? We'll play this for our viewers here.
Gronk,
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be?
I got one word for you. Retirement. Tamp down the stress and amp up the relaxation, baby. Retirement is like winning another championship. Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
Tampa Bay and win another championship.
Tampa Bay.
Maybe I'll even join you. If you retire now, you're soft and weak.
Go to Tampa Bay, win another championship.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. And my goal is to bring a championship to Tampa Bay. And Gronk's coming with me.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GO in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Are you kidding me? Unreleased? That would have been the best commercial of the freaking whole thing.
I know, right?
Why the unreleased? You've seen some of those lame commercials? That beats them by. Are you kidding me?
Bravo. The agency that came up with that, genius.
At least put it. I understand you probably don't want to put it at the beginning because the game's kind of up in it, but put it at the end when the game's easily already decided.
Yeah, like when they're gonna, between the time where they wheel the stage out and get all the pomp and circumstance ready, they go to ads. That's where you put it, right? If you've got it produced. Yeah, no, that was brilliant. Shame on you, T-Mobile. Get that thing out there. So, all right. Well, that's it for the 2020 NFL season, man. It's over.
And I'm already can't wait for the start of the 2021.
Where's JJ Watt going? Is he going to Pittsburgh? Is he going to Green Bay?
Is he
going to Tampa Bay?
I could have sworn that was a done deal. What, did I dream that or something? I could have sworn there was an announcement it was going to the Bears. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
I remember. I thought I texted you about that, didn't I?
You did. You were on Earth 2 for that.
Wow, I was. Where did I get that from then?
I don't know. Maybe it was a rumor or some who knows?
Jeez.
Well, that's all right. We'll have fun watching that.
Yeah.
So we will do throughout the off season. We'll pop in with some maybe the free agent news and stuff like that and go over that, and definitely got to do a draft thing.
Draft will be big.
Yep. And then maybe preview training camp kind of thing. And then of course next year we'll do our week to week thing as usual as our season 2 of NFL Sports Talk. So that'll be fun.
It will be. Yeah.
So in the meantime, Edson and I are going to scheme up some other shows to do because we got like 6 months till the next football season, and we'll only have shows.
We gotta we gotta get that time quickened between the next season.
All right. I know. So we'll come up with something else. I don't know. Maybe we could do a little baseball stuff in there too.
Yeah.
It's called Sports Talk, not just football.
Right.
But,
obviously we're not going to do a daily thing, but
yeah. Football's a lot easier because everything else is every day, and we don't have every day. Right. If we get enough subs out there, gang, if you subscribe to our channel and get us monetized, and we could spend more time just watching stuff, and then we can
Yep.
Then we can do. So please subscribe to the channel. Please follow us on the socials. And our website is geektimenetwork.com. You can email us at geektimenet@gmail.com. Once again, please subscribe to the channel. So, all right. I'm good. You good?
I'm good. Good.
All right. Congratulations, Tampa Bay. On a great season.
And congratulations, NFL, for getting all those games in and all the way to the end.
Excellent. Well said. And congratulations to the Chiefs.
For sure. Yeah. They were there twice in a row.
Came up short. And let's face it, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So. All right. I will talk to you later, my friend. All you sports fans out there, good luck finding something to do for 6 months.
Let's hibernate for a while.
There we go. Catch you later. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified